All right, everybody. So my name is Jason. This is our new project truck, and probably kind of sort of our first, or I guess it's our second official video, but we finally have a project to work on that we're going to make several videos out of for the channel. Fall is officially here. Raining leaves. But I just thought I would introduce the truck, and then we're actually going to pull the fuel pump today. Maybe we'll go into town and get one if the store has one, and try to replace it and see if we can't get this thing running. So we did actually get it started, and it would run off of starter fluid, but the fuel pump doesn't seem like it has power, doesn't seem like it's kicking on. I don't know if it's the fuel pump or wiring, who knows. This is a very old truck. It's been sitting for a long time. But before we get to the fuel pump, let me just introduce you to the truck, the plans for it, and then let's get wrenching. So I'm sure the thing everyone is actually staring at is, what is this thing? The people that used to own our property, they wintered down here, but they're from Alaska, and they brought this down. It used to be a remote garbage dump truck. So they would go to all the places that the big trucks couldn't get to, load this thing up with garbage bag, and then it was designed to actually back up to, I guess, like maybe like a 4 or 6 yard dumpster, and then lift up, dump everything out, and then the big garbage trucks could come get it. What I'd like to do is to be able to have this dump bed come on and off, but there's some issues. One, it's pretty heavy. Getting this thing on and off, you know, wouldn't necessarily be an easy task. I'm thinking something like a in truck bed camper, whatever you call those things. You know, they usually have jacks on the sides. You put them all down and then you just drive the truck away. I think something like that would work. The main problem is there's a lot of wiring, and then the taillights, turn signals and stuff are all integrated into the dump truck, or the dump bed, I guess, not necessarily the truck. If I want to be able to take this thing on and off, I've got to deal with those lights. Well, I don't really know what happened, but the rest of that day's footage is gone, missing. I don't know, maybe I didn't hit record enough. Let me just tell you what our plans with this truck are, and kind of this channel, and where we're going with this whole thing. I've always wanted to restore cars, and more importantly nowadays, I want to do it with my sons, right? I got 4 boys, ages 6 weeks old to 7.5 years old. It's kind of always been a dream of mine, right? Like that father-son thing where we build the car, they have it, and hopefully they keep it forever so they can tell their kids, you know, hey, I built this with my with your grandpappy. That's kind of the goal with this truck, is to work on it with my boys, but also have lots of adventures with it. And my oldest is 7 years old. So it's not like he's old enough to actually drive the thing, but all of my boys are old enough to start building memories with. I love being off-road. I'm not really big into rock crawling. That's not my thing. Kind of going out to remote places, camping, where there's nobody around and all you see is the beautiful country. That's kind of what I like to do. Luckily, my boys so far love to do that with me. So this is actually my 4th Toyota. Now my favorite number is 4, so maybe this will work out, because this is also the 3rd 4x4 Toyota I've owned. 3rd time's a charm maybe, and 4 being my lucky number. My first Toyota was a 97 Toyota Corolla. I got it as a commuter car, fixed it up, ended up selling it, and the engine blew 3 months later. I felt really bad about that because I sold it to a friend, but I did a lot of maintenance on that thing and it ran fine for me. So I really don't know what happened with that one, but I've kind of had bad luck with Toyotas. My second one was kind of sort of a dream truck for me. It was a 2001 Land Cruiser in gray. As much as I loved that vehicle, I had absolute nothing but problems with it. It was all electrical. Electrical problems are one of those things that you can chase and chase and chase, and you may never find the end of it. And so I ended up selling it, regrettably, because I sold it for like 7 grand or something really stupid cheap, because they just weren't popular at the time. It only had like 150,000 miles on it. It was a POS, to be honest with you. And then I had a Sequoia, which we used a little bit, but we ended up trading in for our big truck back there. We got a 2016 Chevy Silverado 3500. But that Land Cruiser, I still remember I took out my 2 nephews, and at the time, the oldest, he was 14 years old. They loved it. I loved taking them out. I can't remember if my wife was either pregnant or had just delivered our first son. A little over 7 years ago was the last time we went off-roading. And you know what, now that I'm thinking about it, it was probably 7 Christmases ago, because I'm pretty sure that's why they were down visiting us. Time has flown since then, and I have not done serious off-road real camping with my boys. Now, since I've had such bad luck with Toyotas, we plan on going through every square inch of this pickup. If it can be rebuilt, we'll rebuild it. If it can be upgraded, we'll upgrade it. I don't think we're gonna go super crazy. Probably no long travel kits, you know, unless somebody wants to pay for that. Likely won't do a solid axle swap. That just seems more work than what I really want to put in for this truck. But basically, let's go through, do all the maintenance, and make sure that this thing is running as reliably as we can make it run, but also let's restore it and make it look nice. So right now we have a bunch of parts on order. They should all be arriving this week and early next week to redo most of the fuel system. Kind of the fuel tank, the pump, the sending unit. We're gonna replace a lot of the lines all the way up to the fuel filter. After that, if we end up having to redo fuel injectors and stuff like that, we'll get to there. But right now we're just trying to get the car running because it doesn't currently run. The engine does run, it just doesn't run on its own. We got it to run off of starter fluid, so we know the engine cranks over, it runs, everything seems to be working. We've got spark, all that seemed to be good. The fuel system's not working. We did put a new battery in it, no big deal right there. I think kind of all new cars are gonna need a new battery, or all projects always need a new battery. But other than that, it seems to be a pretty decent working vehicle. Let's just end this video. That's kind of the intro. We wanna go through every single inch of this truck. We plan on taking it on some 4-wheeling trips, little light camping and whatnot. We'll still take our big camper as kind of a home base. So yeah, that's kind of the gist of it. Me building vehicles with my boys. That's it for this video. That's the intro. See you guys on the next one.